All right, sixth grade. This is your math review for your final test. We are going to work through a number of these problems just so that you know how to do them for sure. We will start with this. This list over here is basically things that you need to know. There will be a problem on your test. Find the perimeter of a square. So make sure that you know how to find the perimeter of the square. Know the formula, know how to do it. Perimeter of a square, circumference of a circle, area of a rectangle, volume of a cube. Know how to do all those. Know how to subtract and divide mixed numbers. If you have been getting these wrong, and some of you have, at least in the past, you go to those lessons. Look at in your beginning of your book, you have the lesson numbers and what they're about. Find the lesson that has to do with subtracting and dividing mixed numbers and figure that out. We're not going to do any of those on the board. All right, we will start with multiplying and dividing compound measures. Okay, just doing a division of compound measures. 12 divided by 9. How many times does 9 go into 12? 1. Once you have a number up here, then you can put that label, 1 yard. Okay? Because that's done now. You're going to have that. 1 times 9 is 9. 12 minus 9 is 3, and this is yards. Turn yards into feet. How many feet in 3 yards? There are 3 feet per yard, so 3 times 3 is 9. This goes up here. Looks like 9 feet. Okay? You're now done with this. 3 yards became 9 feet. Add this. Right? Now we have 9 plus 2 is 11 feet. And this is the number that you're dividing by 9 now. Okay? 9 into 11 is 1 times 9. 11 minus 9 is 2. Just make that a fraction. 2 over 9. 1 and 2/9 feet. Right? So you have 1 yard, 1 and 2/9 feet. Know how to do that. All right? Multiplication of compound measures. Multiply these separately. Okay? So 22 times 8 would be 176 seconds. 8 times 5, 40 hours, right? Now divide seconds by how many seconds in a minute. I'm sorry, this should be minutes and seconds, not hours and seconds. Apologize. Minutes. Yes. Okay. Turn the seconds, divide the seconds by how many seconds in a minute, right? 60 seconds in a minute. So divide 176 divided by 60. 6 into 17 goes about what? 6 into 17 goes 2. Is that right? 3 would be 100, yes, 2. 120. Okay, this is minutes, 2 minutes. The remainder is going to be seconds. 7 minus 2 is 5. 52 minutes and 56 seconds. We are now done with seconds. Your answer is going to have 56 seconds in it. You add 2 minutes to that to get 42 minutes and 56 seconds is your answer for that multiplication one. Okay? All right. Get erased. Got a bunch more to do. Think about greatest common factor and least common multiple. Think about this. Start working on this. Greatest common factor and least common multiple for 12 and 27. The numbers 12 and 27 find the greatest common factor and the least common multiple. As clean as possible so you can see it well, maybe. All right. Greatest common factor, least common multiple, right here, for 12 and 27. Okay, remember how you do that by prime factoring? 2 into 12 is 6, right? And then you have 2 into 12. 6 divided by 2 is 2 and a 3. So put the prime factors up there. 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 is 12. So the prime factors of, looks like this, I think, of 12 are 2, 2, and 3. What are the prime factors for 27? The prime number that goes into 27 is 3. 3 times 9, so if you divide 9 by 3, you get 3, 3, 3, right? 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Then down here, you want the greatest common factor and the least common multiple. The greatest common factor is the largest number that divides evenly into 12 and 27. So 12 divided by this number, 27 divided by this number, what's the biggest number? Here is where you go, the ones that you have in common. The only ones that you have in common are 3. Okay? That just brings 1 3 down. Okay? That does not bring 2 3s down. So simply your greatest common factor is 3. Right? Least common multiple is the most of any one of these. So here you have 2 2s, right? And here you have 3 3s. That's the only 3 that does not get written down. 3 3s. And then you multiply those together. 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. Here you have 3 times 3 is 9. 12 times 9 is 108. That's your least common multiple, the lowest number that can be divided evenly by 12 and 27. 12 goes into 108 9 times, 27 goes into 108 4 times. Okay, remember, least common multiple, greatest common factor, and least common multiple. There will be one like this on there. The most important thing, the only answers that I grade are the greatest common factor and the least common multiple. Okay? So if you can find that without doing the prime factors, I'm fine with that. But make sure that you get all the prime factors. Make sure you know what you're doing. All right? That's kind of the key for the entire test. Make sure you know what you're doing, right? I will try to help you figure that out today. Estimate with compatible numbers. Estimate with compatible numbers. That's this mess right here. There's one more thing that I need to put up there, then I will. Right after this. Estimate with compatible numbers. So you have a number like 33 into 1432. 33 into 1428. Something like that. Okay, you're now estimating with compatible numbers. Round the divisor off. 30. Drop down one. 30 into, what's the closest number to 14 that 3 can go into evenly? So you cover up that. 3 into 14, what's the closest number to 14 that 3 can go into evenly? 1500. 30 into 1500. Make sure you put your answer at the right place. So 30 does not go into 15. 30 into 150 would be your 5. That's your 150. Make sure you have your 0 on there. So your answer there would be 50. That has to do with estimating with compatible numbers. Before I forget, let me put this on the board yet. Order of operation. So you have a math problem that has add, subtract, multiply, divide, parentheses, whatever else in it. What order do you do things first? First of all, you do whatever's in parentheses. All right? And then you multiply and divide from left to right. And then you add and subtract from left to right. Okay? And this order right here, if there's a division problem before a multiplication problem, you do it first. So this is multiply, divide from left to right, whatever comes first. And then add and subtract from left to right, whatever comes first. Order of operation, remember that. Percent problems. These are those percent problems, where you solve using proportion. There are 3 different kinds of percent problems that you will see. One of them is this. Where is it? Where are you? Yes. 8 is what percent of 98? 8 is what percent of 98? Okay? What's the proportion for that? On these, 8 is what percent of 98? You have percent over percent and number over number. So what are your numbers? 8 is a number. Your percent is the missing, your percent is P, okay? That will be your missing, and that will be, well, that's, yeah. And 98 is a number. So number over number looks like this. 8 over 98 equals P over 100. Okay, so number over number, percent over percent for this kind of problem. 8 is what percent of 98? Okay, this will be, your answer will be a percent. So then your problem is 98 P equals 100 times 8, 800. All right, divide. This is 98 times, so you go divided by 98. Divided by 98. That gets rid of the 98s here, so all you have left is P equals, this one's going to have a remainder. You will not have a remainder, I don't think, in your answer, but in your test. But this would be 800 divided by 98. So 9 into 80, 9 into 80 is about, let's try 8. I think 8 will work. 8 times 8 is 64. 9, 72 plus 6, 78. Subtract 10. 9 minus, it'd be 16 over 98. 16 over 98. Reduce that. Okay, again, this will not happen on your test, but reduce this. That would be 8 over what? 8 over 49. So your answer is P equals 8 and 8 over 49%. If it asks for percent, watch labels. You're getting sloppy on labels, and I've been letting some of that go. Okay, when you're doing these perimeter, circumference, area, volumes, I have to have the correct label. All right? Anywhere I'm going to need a label. If it asks for percent, you give the percent sign. Okay? Dollar sign, if it's a money problem, I have to have correct labels. I will count it wrong on this test if you don't have correct labels. I have been nice to you. I don't know if that's been actually being nice to you. I've been lenient on you anyway. Whether or not that's nice or not, I don't know. But I did not count all your labels wrong in the last assignment or so, but I will on the test. Label it correctly, right? So that is one of those problems. 8 is what percent of 98? 8 is what percent of 98? All right. You also have one like this. You also have a percent of decrease. Decrease 72 by 20%. Decrease 72 by 20%. Now these, 100% is 72. So here you go. This number, the number that you're decreasing, 72, that's number over percent. Okay, number over percent. So this is 72 over 100 equals the missing number. This is your decrease, how much you're going to decrease it by, over 20. All right? This, your final answer on this one, all I need, your final answer on this one is not the missing number. Your final answer is 72 minus D is the final answer. Okay? So D is how much you decrease. Decrease means subtract. So this is going to be, you're subtracting 72 by this to get your final answer, but you have to find this first. So you have 100 D equals what? 72 times 20. What's 72 times 20? 1440. Okay, 72 times 20. Know that. You always multiply this. 100 times D equals 72 times 20. That's 1440. Divide this by 100. Divide this by 100. What happens when you divide by 100? You simply move the decimal point 2 places to give you 14.4. You can drop that 0. So the decrease, D, equals 14.4. But you're not done yet. That is not the answer. Your answer is 72 minus D. So what is 72 minus D? 72 minus 14.4 is 57.6. Okay? The answer to this. This is D, but you have to subtract that, and that is 57.6 is your final answer. Again, the answer on the test will probably not have a decimal point. All right? Now we're going to do sales tax, and sales tax is done the same way as this, except in sales tax you will add the missing number. And in sales tax you need 2 answers, right? So here's your numbers. Start working on this a while. Your bill at the store is $125.50. $125.50. There is a 6% sales tax. What is the amount of tax and what is your final price? $125.50 with a 6% sales tax. $125 $125,50 with a 6% sales tax, right? So on your final answers are going to be two answers. A tax, how much is the sales tax? And then final price. Which is $125.50 plus the tax, right? So this is the same as the one we just did before. This is 100%, so it's going to be number over percent again. 125.50 over 100% equals tax, that's going to be your tax amount, over 6%. Okay? And you're going to add these two to get your final answer then. The tax, I need the tax down here, so we're going to put two answers in here then, all right? So we have 100T equals, what? Carefully do 125.50 times 6. You can actually drop that 0 off. So 125.5 times 6 equals what? Equals 753. Okay, you might have a decimal and a 0. You can drop that. 753. Divided by 100. Divided by 100. When you divide by 100, the decimal point, here's an invisible decimal point, right? On a whole number, here's your invisible decimal point. You divide by 100, simply comes in two places. 1, 2, right here, right? So, T, your tax is 7.53. That's dollars. Make sure that you have dollars. $7.53, right? That's one answer. 125.50 plus the sales tax. Right? 125.50 plus. Oh my Lord, I subtracted. Well, let's add. Sales tax means you're adding 125.5 plus 7.53 equals $133.03. 133.03 $. So there are the two answers that I need for that one. The tax amount, and you cannot just have your tax amount here. Okay? I need to know. If you circle it here, if you have a $sign and circle it here, I can handle that. Maybe. No, you need to know. I take that back. I need to see. I've written down ST, sales tax, with the amount and the final price, please. Right? Interest. Sorry. Start working on this. Principal, I'm borrowing $5,000 for 2 years at 9% interest. Borrowing $5,000 at 9% interest for 2 years. How much interest am I going to pay? Start working on that. $5,000, 9% interest, 2 years. All right? Remember that interest is simply multiplying the principal times the rate times the time. Principal times rate times time. 9% looks like 0.09. So 5,000 times 0.09 times 2. And you can do that in any order. So you might as well go 5,000 times 2, which is what? 10,000, right? 10,000 times 0.09, 10,000, or, yeah, 0.09 times 10, 1, 2, 3, that's going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 9 times 1, 9, you don't have to put that 0 there, all right? Decimal point goes how many places? 1, 2, 1, 2. Answer is $900, $900 interest. Principal times rate times time for interest. Scale drawings. So I'm just going to draw a crude rectangle up here. It's not going to be perfect. All right. So this piece is 9 inches. And this, the length is about, just about 21 inches. My scale is 1 inch equals 25 feet. Scale, 1 inch equals 25 feet. Okay? So on your test, you will have a drawing that you will have to measure. And it will say 1 inch equals so many yards, so many feet. Make sure you label correctly. You need to have 2 answers. You need a length, which is simply 25. 1 inch, here's inches, 21 inches times 25 equals answers in feet. Okay? The width is 9 inches times 25 with the label in feet. So do the math, 21 times 5, 21 times 25, 525 feet. 9 times 25 is, what's 9 times 25? 225 feet. You have to have 2 answers. You have to have a length, which is however many feet or yards that 1 inch equals times your however many inches, right? Scale drawing, 2 answers, length and a width. Unit price, when you're working with unit price is simply, it says to use a proportion. You do not have to use the proportion there. Unit price is simply total amount spent divided by however many units that you bought. So say I bought 5 quarts of oil for $25. What is my unit price? 25 divided by 5. $5 is my unit price. Okay, so just total amount spent by how many units, however many gallons or pints or bushels or pounds or whatever that you bought. Total price divided by how many you bought gives you your unit price. Don't worry about it's saying to use proportion. All right, one more. Dividing decimals. So suppose I have a number like this. 2.3 into 0.3. 9. And I want to round this number to the nearest tenth. All right? What do I do with my decimals? First of all, if there's a decimal in the divisor, what you're doing is you're multiplying both of these sides times 10. Just move it over one place on both of them. Move the decimal here so there is no more decimal. Move the decimal here so that your decimal goes straight up. Now if I'm rounding it to the nearest tenth, how many places do I need after the decimal point? I'm going to round it off to the nearest tenth, so there's that. But I need the hundredth to round it off, right? All right. How many times is 23? 23 into 90. What's 23 into 90? 4 would be what? 4 would be too high. 4 would be 92. So we need a 3. Times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract. 20, 10 minus 9 is 1. Bring the 0 down. 2 into 21 is going to go what? Like 10 times. Well, you can't quite do that. So we're going to go 9, right? 0.39. Now you can round it to the nearest tenth. The answer to this number rounded to the nearest tenth. As soon as you know what this number is, as soon as you know that this number is 5 or more, or 4 or less, then you can do your rounding off. You don't even have to do the math, okay, as long as you know that. The 9 makes the 3 a 4. Your final answer would be 0.4. Just know how to move the decimals and do your rounding off. There will be a couple more story problems, some things like that on your test, but I think that you should be able to figure the rest of it out, figure the story problems out. And I will remind you of this test Wednesday morning. This test is on Wednesday. Wednesday morning I will remind you of the test to give you an extra credit problem and tell you that you can call me if you have any questions. All right? Pay attention to this video, okay? If you don't know how to do this stuff, then you watch this video. And this stuff you have to look in your book to figure out. But all this other stuff, I told you how. Pay attention to the video. Good day.